everyone. I know it's been a minute since I've been here. And I started to say I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because I've been living my life and showing up in all of the ways that it's required of me right now. And I was just telling a friend something about, all I can do right now is just meet myself in every moment, drink my water, and go the fuck to sleep every night. And that's kind of the energy of where we all find ourselves right now. And of course, it's by design that as we sit in this uncomfortable energy, as the things that aren't for us start to fall away, the visual I kept getting is like when you're forging steel over and over again, you bring the hammer down and like as that steel is formed, you get these weird like metal chips that kind of fall off. So we're sloughing off essentially as we're reformed in this hammer press anything that isn't for us. And as that comes to the surface, that can be really uncomfortable to sit with long enough to like understand why it's coming up. And I just wanted to do a quick reading because I've missed Aries season. I've missed the full moon. Like shit's just insane, flying off the walls. But this is going to be pretty short because I have to leave here soon. But in the meantime, I wanted to get some spirit messages, what we need to know right now. Exactly when you see this, timeless. It doesn't matter if you're seeing this the second that it's posted or 7 years from now or 100 years from now if YouTube is still a thing and we haven't all descended in a nuclear war. So without further ado, let's see what Spirit has to say. I'm going to use the Guide to Animal Totem Tarot by Lisa Roberts, which a friend gave to me, and I don't use it all the time, but this just what's wanted to come out to play today. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask my guides, spirit, and angels to come forward so that the reading will resonate with anyone and everyone who finds it exactly when they need to see it. So without further ado, let's see what Spirit has to say. And I'm not going to read reversals. Spirit already has a few things to say. I'm not going to read reversals just because I don't feel like going by the books. There are too many goddamn rules for living on this planet anyway right now that, like, anything that's trying to dull my shine or put me in a box that I don't fit in, get the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of my life. Okay. All right. So, let's see. 3 fell out. I want to see if any more fall out before we kind of get into it. And boom, there it is. All right. So the first 3 that fell, we've got Justice, 9 of Pentacles, the Star. So we're sitting in this energy while things are falling away. What's being asked of us that we focus on our dreams. When you think of what you came to this planet to accomplish, bringing all of your past life experience, all of the master schools that you've been to, all of your infinite knowledge, what aligns with that? What does that look like? Is that writing? Is that music? Why are writing and music the only 2 things I can ever think of? Art, painting, photography, counseling, making a difference, even being an attorney can be serving spirit if you're doing it, showing up for the right people and it's just, life is what you make it right now, but this time is all about focusing in on exactly what it is you want. The star here is represented by the pearl, and the thing with the pearl is in clamshells, pearls are caused by irritants, like grains of sand getting in, irritating the shit out of you, and then the mucus that the clam puts around in its little cheek is what ends up becoming the pearl. So the things that get on our nerves, that we're not wild about, that irritate us, oftentimes end up becoming invaluable pieces of knowledge. And the star is also kind of about balance and tempering. We've got a lighthouse here. Lighthouses are all about safety, how to get through the shoreline without dying on any jagged rocks. And then the pearl itself, it looks like it's surrounded by barnacles, not necessarily other oysters. And so it's about kind of recognizing where the kernel of truth is among the barnacles, or like where that among the shit, essentially, like where is good, what's working. The other thing that we've got here, we've got 9 of Pentacles. So what Spirit wants you to know, 1, 9 of Pentacles can move pretty slow, as evidenced by this tortoise here. And it's a tortoise, not a turtle, because tortoises live on land and can't swim. Turtles can swim most of the time, I think. I don't know. Anyway, Tortoise moves slow. This looks like some sort of giant Galapagos deal. And he's here. And actually what keeps coming into my head is Lonesome George. And if you don't know who Lonesome George is, it's actually really sad. He is the only remaining species of this one particular Galapagos tortoise. And he can't have a mate. So he's like the last of his species and he's just Lonesome George. And it's very sad. Anyway, this card is not necessarily about that. Rather, this is about knowing that 9 of Pentacles, like you're almost to the end of the line here. Like Pentacles is like the physical world. It can be our money, how we move through the physical world, people, places, things. In the minor arcana, 10 is as high as it goes. So once you get to 10, you start right back down to 0, meaning that the cycles that we go through are finite. The cycles themselves are infinite, but in terms of like how we chart our growth or our progress through these cycles, that shit's infinite. So what Spirit is saying here, trust that if you're doing the work and holding on to your dreams, it might move fucking slowly at a tortoise's pace, but you know about Aesop's fable and the tortoise versus the hare. Which of those bitches wins the race? It's not the fucking hare. Which is funny because I've been seeing rabbits everywhere, which is very apropos for spring and Easter, but also makes me feel a little bit like I'm about to trip balls in a Lewis Carroll novel. Anyway, the other card that flew out is Justice and Crane. Justice is exactly that. It's about the scales balancing. It's about when the sky parts, Jesus or God steps out and it's like, oh, it's time to face the piper. You have the checks that your mouth has been writing. Can your actions back it up? Because now is the time. If you see this, you've got all this kind of tumult behind the crane, and the crane's just like fucking eating it up. Like, come at me, bro. You can't fucking hurt me. Like, I know what my worth is. I know what I'm here to do, and I caw and crow in the face of whatever it is you're telling me I can't accomplish. So that's kind of also part of the time right now. So it's really trusting. This camera is flipping. I don't know which way is up. It's about trusting, if we'll get there, that Spirit will bring your wildest dreams to you. Because what is for you, what you incarnated to experience, will never miss you, because that's part of soul contracts, right? That we incarnate into this body with our soul family and we say, all right, I'll be an asshole to you, and like asshole, but like me, every challenge that we face exists to bring us closer to the vibration of unconditional love. Where can we take on these hardships and as opposed to getting strung out or sad or feeling like we need to beat our head against the wall, it's what's the ask here? And the ask is always, how can I love better? And oftentimes it's not how can I love externally outward, it's about how can I love internally inward to be able to hold my vibration at an unshakable level. And the way we do that is with our trust in the divine, that the lighthouse is always on. The pearl, what turns into the pearl, is often our greatest irritant, and we just kind of have to sit there and trust our process. And here's another reminder of sitting there and trusting that process, because tortoises don't fucking move fast. But you know what they do? They live for fucking ever. And so what's happening is that the changes that you are making in your life right now, they're gonna fucking stick, dude, okay? So justice is stepping forward. It is time to reap what we've sown. And if you've been sowing love, seeing love, experiencing love, I don't know why the computer is changing every time I move, but that's kind of fun. It's going from like yellow to blue light. I don't know. Yellow is solar plexus, blue would be throat chakra. So maybe solar plexus is kind of all about how we relate to our group, which is particularly like if we're hanging out with a bunch of friends and we say something potentially awkward, it hits us, boom, right here in our solar plexus, which I don't want to stand up, but it's about 3 inches above our stomach. But it's all about how we fit in with like the family unit, within our own unit, just our relationship with others, kind of how we mirror off of one another and how we let that affect us. And then the throat chakra, of course, are you speaking love? Are you speaking your truth? Are you aware of your truth? And so we're really kind of alchemizing how we feel in terms of our own self-worth so we can better speak our truth and make the changes that we need to do. We've also got 3 of Wands here represented by the woodpecker. The woodpecker in Native American symbolism is all about prophecy because they're associated with thunder, because they peck on wood. And so when they show up, it's kind of like the rings sounds of change are in the air. We don't necessarily know what's coming next, but on the divine level we do. And so it's about knowing that we will get what we will reap what we've sown. And if we've sown and we've watered and we've shown up, this new adventure, this new prophecy, this new soul mission, and what I'm seeing right here are ships, right? And so what that reminds me of are like ships coming in, you know, are here to bring us to this new adventure. And that's what the Three of Wands are. Wands are passion. Wands can be a little bit phallic, a little bit more of the masculine side, but what they really represent is figuring out where our passions lie, not necessarily with the divine, but the divine is always with you in your passion, because what lights you up, literally, what makes you express your light outward is exactly what you came here to do. So know that your passions will bring you to your garden where you will have this wall, where you will sit and be total. I mean, Turtle's like shit, dude. He lives in his own house, right? Like he has his strength with him. He can move and carry his house and be adaptable to anything that comes his way. And so where we find ourselves, these new adventures that are stepping forward as, you know, kind of cycles of justice come in, while we are trusting the divine, we can trust this next step that we're being asked to take right now. Let's see what else throughout. Three of Cups, puffins. Puffins. Okay. So puffins are very fun because I believe they live in South America. I think they live in the South Hemisphere. And they aren't necessarily in the Arctic. And so, I mean, like, look at all this green here. And green is heart chakra, right? Cups are emotions, water, flowing, you know, how we feel, how we deal with our emotions. And so this is traditionally a card of celebration. You know, so know that the hard times are coming to an end as these justice cycles wrap up. That puffins are just these silly little fucking birds who are adorable, have really great eye makeup. I don't know if you can see that. Like, that winged liner could, like, slice a bitch. And look how happy they all are. One has a mouthful of food. One's, like, not sure if he wants to be in one cup or, like, share the meal with the other one. The other one's just like, fuck, bitch, I'm a puffin. I fucking love it. That's kind of the energy right now, that they have everything they need. They have water that they love to swim in. They have land that they can walk on. They have food in their fucking mouths. They've got these gold chalices available to drink from any fucking time that they want to. And so this is about kind of making that mental shift from the way things were, of whether that's heartbreak, tragicness, just fucking challenge after challenge after challenge, and finding the celebration in every moment as you step forward in this new energy. And what we've got here, we've got 2 threes here. Threes are the number of manifestation, because when we're balanced in our mind, body, spirit, and also spirit, masculine, feminine energies, that is when we are a fucking magnet in terms of the vibration that we're putting out, returning to seek us. That's all about manifestation, right? If you can hold the vibration that it's already happened, then boo, it's coming to you, okay? It's just about trusting in the divine, trusting in your soul mission, you know, what you came here to do, and knowing that just by showing up every single fucking day, bitch, that's it. That's fucking it. And what is at the bottom of the deck here, I'll show you. See, here's the whole deck. And then here's the bottom is Temperance, a fucking flamingo. And flamingos, so traditionally Temperance is like the angel of temperance, right? About balancing kind of polarities, or that masculine, feminine energy, or, you know, two kind of yin yang, which is also masculine, feminine energy, but taking two kind of things that don't necessarily go together and figuring out how to alchemize them in a way that works for everyone involved for the highest and best. So that's, I mean, look, man, a fucking flamingo doing a one-leg situation behind a waterfall with a rainbow. Bitch, are you serious? This is the energy that we're in right now. And so it really is about trusting to the divine, knowing that you are protected in every minute, and that the hardships are over. You know, what has been required of you is to kind of rely on the skills that you don't necessarily understand yet. You know, this is a huge time of psychic awakening. And so if you're hearing ringing when you're trying to fall asleep in your ears, that's your ear. That's your metaphysics literally readjusting to the influx of light on this planet. That the Schumann resonance, which is a really fun thing to look up if you haven't yet, is forever increasing. And I believe it has something to do with like the iron that is in the core of the earth as that interacts with like the sun's, I don't fucking know. I should have looked it up before I got into this, but like whatever. It's fine. Google is a thing. If you're really into it, Google Schumann resonance. But it's essentially, they describe it as the heartbeat of the earth. And it's been ever increasing since about 2011. And it hit maximum threshold a few weeks ago. And so as the heartbeat of the earth increases, kind of we change with it, and how that manifests at first can be ringing in ears. So if you're hearing like different pitches, or like this fucking ear here has been going out, I can't fucking hear out of it right now. And it's like, I need to pop it and I can't. And so I just have to sit here and feel uneven because we're being tempered right now. This ear will turn back on. I have no doubt about it. I just kind of have to sit here and feel funky in this new energy and rely on the senses that I've never experienced before, because this is all about new beginnings here. I mean, this is a little dung beetle and he's found his piece of shit, and you associate like, I mean, what is shit, right? It's shit. But not to a dung beetle. A dung beetle's like, tight, that's food, that's my house, I'm gonna take this home. And like, look, he's surrounded by flowers. He's living his best life. This time is coming. Spirit wants you to know that this time is coming. The scales of justice are being balanced. The divine is stepping forward, but it's about working with this energy and being able to meet it halfway and kind of stepping forward so you can get to the celebratory energy. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, we've got Page of Swords, Roadrunner. Page of Swords. It's a younger energy. It's about kind of slicing through the bullshit, really determining like what it is you will and will not take anymore, you know, mentally. So it can be kind of slicing through the shit that we tell ourselves in terms of how we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not skinny enough, we're not enough. In any of the ways that can manifest as we think we're not enough. Page of Swords is about kind of slicing fucking through that. And it's also about having fun as we do it, because again, this is a young energy. And the thing that always makes me think of Roadrunner, well, is our Roadrunners, like the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner, that he is fucking smart. He can always outsmart the coyote. And that this is a time where we kind of have to think on our feet, because there is a lot of passion in the air. The scales are balancing, like wishes are coming true, and there is all this celebratory energy, but we can't get lost in it. You know, that we still have a job to do while things kind of are discombobulated so they can get recombobulated, I think. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is interesting. So we've got a natural progression here between the Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is a rook, which is a cousin, I believe, to the crow. It's not actually a crow, but it is also a corvid. And so it's also interesting that we've got two birds here, because birds have serious ties to the angelic realm. So again, no. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. This is like all birds, guys, except for a turtle and a star. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. So we really are kind of facing some shit right now, right? The devil is portrayed as the bobcat, and in fact, this is interesting that he's like fucking sliced this white rabbit, because like I said earlier, I've been noticing white rabbits specifically everywhere, kind of coming through with a message of like, follow the white rabbit, not unlike Alice in Wonderland, which is very much what this energy feels like. You know, eat me, get too big, drink me, get too small, drown in your own pile of tears, like smoke weed with a caterpillar. Like, this is kind of the shit that we find ourselves in right now. But this, I mean, look how, I don't want to fuck with this bobcat, man. This bobcat has somehow managed to work its way through these traps, turn both of the traps on, and not get fucking hurt, and get this little fucking bunny here, right? I'm not fucking with that bobcat. I'm not, if you are in your power, if you are out, like, freeing yourself from that which binds you, you know, it can kind of put you in this ferocious energy, and it's about not identifying with that right now, because, I mean, we're multifaceted, right? And so we've got ferociousness, but we also have loveliness, we have nurturing, we have care, we have laughter, and it's about working with, and again, tempering the polarities as they come through, because to jump from the devil to the star, and again, these are major arcana cards, we've got four major arcana cards on the table. So this is serious fucking energy that we're in. And so I want you to know that if you are having a really hard time right now, I totally fucking see you and I'm right there with you. And I don't want you to feel alone at all, because that's exactly what stepping forward is, the challenges, so we can push through and realign with what we came here to do. But I'm going to go back and talk about this Knight of Swords for a minute, this Rook, because what's happening as we slice through, Corvids are like the most intelligent creature on the planet after humans, apes, and pigs. Like these guys, or maybe even they use tools. Scientists have actually observed them using tools in the wild, which is a pretty big fucking deal. Something that we had never until this point seen anything but primates do. And they're fucking smart. They can talk. They remember faces. If you're like bros with a crow bros, they'll remember you and they'll tell all their other crow friends. And like, then you'll like this. Actually, I don't want my neighbors to hate me, but one thing I wouldn't mind doing is have like a murder of crows in my backyard every morning. Like, fly, my pretties. They're fucking tight ass birds. But they also are about mystery and trusting and shape-shifting, a little bit of that trickster energy. And it's interesting that it's juxtaposed, this trickster energy, with the Knight of Swords, which is all about slicing through the fucking bullshit, right? But the Knight of Swords he's not to his kingship yet, right? He's more mature than the page, but he's not the King of Swords yet, right? And so it's about trusting that you will get to your king shit, or your queen shit, or your gender neutral shit, whatever your shit is, you're gonna fucking get there and you're gonna love it. But it comes with loving yourself while you're in this devil energy. You know, making sure that what you are fighting against isn't smoke and mirrors, that it's not a lose-lose battle, is what I'm hearing. Because what wants to come through is the celebratory energy, where everyone's just a puffin on a sunny day with like fucking waves crashing behind them and a snack full of sardines, and they can fly and they can swim and they can walk on the ground like they're masters of their fucking environment. And that is really the ask right now, as we kind of are in this transitory period between the old, what was, and the new, which hasn't fully come in yet. But that is the challenge, right? Is to figure out how to be comfortable in the unfamiliar. I fucking hate it. I'm right there with you. There's nothing like uncertainty, right? And that's kind of the only thing that we're getting right now. Nothing concrete is stepping forward, but it's by design. Because if what you think you want steps forward when you're not ready for it, well, you're not fucking ready for it. So it's not going to be great, right? So it's about trusting this entire process, that the divine has everything under control. The only thing you need to fucking do is show up for what shows up and slice through your bullshit. Because when you slice through your internal bullshit, your external world immediately follows. And again, that as we slice through, as we kind of balance these scales, as we meet the storm, like fully exposed, like, bitch, fucking come at me, bro, that there's nothing can hurt us, because that's when we're in our power, because we're fully trusting that we are at the helm of the wheel. Helm of the wheel, is that a thing? Head of the wheel, helm. I don't know. But that you're in control, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. You are absolutely in control right now, and you are learning this balance. And while this new journey, this new prophecy is stepping forward, because I feel like for all of us, but for those who this resonates with, they know what the new is, maybe not necessarily in an easily identifiable way yet, but it's coalescing in their being so that they're going to be able to recognize it as it steps forward. But it's about kind of trusting the swirling without seeing yet, because if we were to get all the things that we want now, we're not ready for them. And the divine says, I love you enough that I'm going to wait until it's going to be absolutely fucking perfect, because you have done the work, so you are a vibratory match for what you're asking for, and then, bitch, I'm gonna blow your fucking socks off, okay? That's what's up. That's what's happening right now. It just requires kind of facing down some shit that we haven't seen before, or maybe haven't seen before this clearly, and slicing through it and remembering the mystery that's involved in the entire time, and remembering that we're fucking clever enough that if we need to rig a way to get from point A to point B, we're a fucking smart-ass crow, and I can get this stick, and I can get the bug out from the bottom of whatever the bug is hiding, and I can eat it, and I can gain that nourishment. And then that gives me enough nourishment. I'm just going to say nourishment like 3 or 4 or 5 more times. I don't know. This is such, like, if you've never just sat in a room by well, my dog's here, I'm not totally by myself, and then just talked at a computer screen, it's weird. Anyway, you are perfectly capable of dealing with everything that's on your plate right now, because that's literally what you incarnated to do. And so you really need to trust yourself, because you fucking know. If you're watching this shit, I guarantee goddamn to you, you're aligned, even if it doesn't feel like it, okay? That if you are asking these questions and seeking this knowledge out, this knowledge is also seeking you, because what you are seeking is also always seeking you. It's part of the whole, you can't take away what spirit wants you to have. You know, what is for you will never miss you. What you are seeking is also seeking you. And trusting that even though maybe you haven't received it yet, whether that's a new job, a new relationship, a new house, a new car, a new whatever, a new partner, that if it hasn't arrived, trust that the divine is kind of, I'm trying to think of the image that I'm seeing right now, but it's like Willy Wonka when they shrink Mike TV down and he's like floating around in the pixels above him and he's like, I have no idea what's going on. Hi, Mom. Like he's just like fuzz above. That's kind of what's happening right now through this Wonka vision. And it is very much a Wonka vision because we have no way which is up, you know. There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. And then it's like a chicken gets its head cut off. Like, shit, bitch, that boat ride's fucking scary as fuck. It just is. But it's about trusting that eventually it will stop because we always get to our destination, but it's also about the journey, not the destination. So grounding into that, facing your greatest fears so you can get to this party time. So you can share your sardines with these little puffins who are having a great fucking time on the coast, somewhere down in South America. That sounds pretty tight. I'd like to be there. So I'm going to leave it there because I got places to be, but I hope this resonates. I'm going to do my best to get more content out there, but I am also doing this shit one day at a time. So all my love, sincerely, we are here because we can do this. There is nothing that we can't do. There is nothing that we can't accomplish. And we can accomplish it by helping each other out and clearing our own internal shit so we can show up better for others. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go have fun. I love you. Goodbye.